Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this video number 16 is on solving quadratics. Okay, now there are two most common ways of solving quadratics, and we're going to solve this quadratic both ways. As you can see, it's the same equation, same quadratic, but I just want to point out that the most common way that works every time is a quadratic formula. Negative b, right? Plus or minus square root. Sometimes we call this our discriminant. Okay, discriminant. Getting a little messy there. Let me write it a little bit better. D-I-S-C-R-M-I-N-A-T-E. Okay, sorry if that's a little sloppy here, guys. But discriminant. But the key thing is you need to have this memorized. I am continuously surprised that I have students that are either sophomores or juniors that still do not have this formula memorized, no matter how many times I and other teachers have told them to memorize this formula. But I will say it verbally as I do it. Okay? Now, if you want more extensive videos on solving quadratics, please go to my other channel, Novi Math Stars, okay, on YouTube. That was my original channel that I started, and I've been using that one for 2 to 3 years. And there's plenty of videos on solving quadratics there that are a little bit more extensive. That said, let's get started here. So, the key thing to remember is it must equal 0. Whenever you solve a quadratic, guys, make sure it equals 0. Okay? Now, I just simply pick off my coefficients and my constant. The number in front of x squared, or coefficient, is called your a. B is always the x coefficient. And c is always your constant. Be careful with your negatives, by the way. Now here is a quadratic formula. I'm going to take the negative of b plus or minus the square root. I'm going to take the b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. And notice, I'm a teacher, but yet I show all my work. I use parentheses. You got to make sure you avoid any silly mistakes, especially with the negatives. Watch your negatives. Okay? Continuing on. The negative of negative 11, of course, is positive 11. 2 times 6 means our denominator is 12. Plus or minus. Now I'm going to go ahead and do everything in the discriminant here. And hopefully you agree that negative 11 squared is 121. And when I do a minus 4 times 6 times a negative 10, see the two negatives there, they make a positive. Alright, negative times negative is positive. And that's what? 240? Okay, and if we do our math, that of course is 361. So my discriminant is 361. The square root of 361 is 19. Okay, I use my calculator there. So what we really have is 11 plus 19 divided by 12. Again, that right there is 19, okay? When I do the square root of 361. And I'm going to have 11 minus 19 over 12. And again, all I just did was split my plus and minus expressions there. So I have 30 over 12. 30 over 12, which reduces to 10 over 4, which of course is 5 halves, or 2.5. Okay. 11 minus 19 is negative 8 over 12, which reduces to negative 2/3, or negative 0.66 repeating. And that's it. And I can't emphasize enough, guys, if there's one thing any junior or senior should be able to do in high school, is you got to be able to have the quadratic formula memorized and know how to use it efficiently. Now, I just want to point out, I'll pause the video again if you need to. Okay, I just want to point out, guys, I'm going to take the same problem. Notice again, remember, it must equal 0 to solve it. And I just want to do a sales pitch for factoring. This is the main reason why you've been taught to factor over and over again for many years. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do it my way. I just like to guess and check. 6x squared, I hope you agree, is 2x times 3x. Now, if that doesn't work, guys, I'll do 6x times x, okay? If 3x times 2x doesn't work, then I'll do 6 times 1, basically. Now, what about the negative 10? Well, let's start out with, how about 5 times 2 is 10, right? Again, if that doesn't work, then I try 2 times 5 as well. But I notice right here I already have a 2, so that usually doesn't work, guys, because that means we have a common factor of 2 if I put the 2 there. If you don't understand what I just said, don't worry about it. The key thing is I'm going to try 5 times 2, and if that doesn't work, then I'll do 2 times 5. If that doesn't work, then I'm going back and doing 6x times x. Okay? And again, I have other videos where I demonstrate factoring over and over again. But finishing up, I hope you notice my inner loop here is 15x, because 5 times 3x, 15x. The 2 times 2x on my outer loop is 4x. And I can get this minus 11 if I do a plus 4 minus 15. 4 minus 15 is negative 11. So long story short, I'm going to put a minus there so that this right here gives me my negative 15x. Okay? And I'm going to put a plus here so that the 2 times the other 2 there gives me my 4x. Okay? And notice a negative 5 times a positive 2 is negative 10, so everything worked perfectly. So if this whole expression factored equals 0, well, can't I take this first factor, 2x minus 5, set it equal to 0, and once I add 5, I'm solving for x here. I get 2x equals 5, and then I'm going to divide by 2, and what do you know? I get 5 halves, just like I got right there. Okay? And then, of course, let's take the other factor, 3x plus 2, set that equal to 0. So I'm going to minus 2 both sides. So 3x equals negative 2. And once I divide by 3 both sides, there's my negative 2/3, just like I got right there. So long story short, guys, notice factoring is a little bit more efficient. If you're very good at factoring, guys, you can save yourself a little bit of time when you're solving quadratics. Now, this is basically the end of my video, so pause it if you need to. And I just want to remind you one more time, guys, if you want to see more extensive videos on factoring or solving quadratics, please go to my Novi Math Stars channel. I just wanted to add this on there so that it supplements the rest of the videos in this part of my new channel. Until next time, bye.